Can I, get you anything?
Let's settle for an explanation. What do you hope to accomplish here?
Well, I was hoping that I would, get you to fall in love with me again.
By threatening my daughter?
Is it wrong that I want justice for my son?
I don't know about wrong. But let's talk about hypocrisy. You know, you're so bent on getting Lulu to pay for the accidental death of your son, but you never paid for the death of Rick Weber. How could you do that, Scotty? How could you leave me with the blame for that? I never would have thought you capable of that.
Laura, I swear to you, I was trying to save you that night.
Scotty, I came with you to get you to stop trying to punish my daughter. And that's all.
Well, I still can't believe that you're even talking. I mean, it just seems like a dream to me. You don't know how many times I bargained with the devil to get you to come back. And when you finally did, Luke didn't even have the decency to tell me that.
And you want to make him pay. You know, you spent your entire life trying to make Luke pay. And me too, apparently.
No, I
Yes, then how do you explain what you've done?
Laura, when you were 17 and you were on probation for killing David Hamilton.
That was an accident.
I know that was an accident, but there was another accident that happened to you. Rick, your stepfather, was having an affair with a nurse at the hospital. You walked in on him, and she was very mad at him, and she was yelling at him, and she was hitting him. And you tried to protect Rick. And you accidentally killed that woman.
Wait a minute. I don't know, that it's all so vague.
Well, that's because Rick stuck a needle in your arm. He tried to sedate you to help you forget. And then he forced me to take that body, dig a hole, and bury it. And I knew that you being on probation for David Hamilton, if this came out, you would go to prison. Laura, I loved you way too much for that to ever happen.
Thank you. I really believe that you were trying to protect me when I was 17 years old. I do. But I don't understand why you would let me think that I was the one who killed Rick.
Laura, you didn't know this, but Rick, he turned out to be a very, very bad guy. He blackmailed me over the woman's body that we buried. The night before you were going to get married, he called me up and he said, meet him in the attic. He said there was a problem. I got over there and he had a syringe in his hand and he was coming after you. He was trying to sedate you against your will. You were fighting with him desperately. I just picked up the first thing that I could get my hands on and I hit him. And then I heard Luke coming up the stairs, and I figured it was best to take off. You didn't need to see us at each other's throats there.
So you ran away?
No, I had to run away.
You left me hysterical, and I was there with Rick's body.
I didn't know that Rick was dead. I couldn't have predicted that. Luke, he came in and he found you clutching the candlestick that I'd hit Rick with. He assumed that you had killed him. So he dragged you off, thought he could just rescue you.
I do remember the fight. And I remember him coming at me with a syringe. And Luke did tell me that I was the one who killed Rick. I believed him. I always believe him. But then the guilt kicked in, and it was like falling into a pit.
I'm sorry about that, Laura. I would never have done anything to hurt you. I've loved you my entire life. I just assumed that you were going to marry Luke the next day. And then when you didn't show up at the church, and then Rick's body showed up.
Why didn't you come forward then?
I didn't know what Luke had planned. I didn't want to make things worse.
How much worse could it have gotten, Scotty?
Laura, if I'd gone to the authorities, all that stuff would have come out when you were 17, and the other murder, and all of that mess would have happened. And, you know, I just figured that you and Luke had just run off into the sunset, left me holding the bag.
Do you really think I'd do that to you?
I think Luke would have. In a second. He has spent his entire life vilifying me, making me out to be the bad guy. He has erased everything in your mind that was ever good about us, Laura. You've forgotten how much we were in love with each other when we were kids, and we didn't have a dime, but we were happy together. I went to the institution to try and talk to you after, you had the breakdown there. But I couldn't get through to you. You were too far gone.
So you just never said anything?
I'm not proud about that. It just happened.
And I suppose now you would like me to forgive you. Right? I can do that. And where is your forgiveness for my daughter? So you killed my stepfather. And then you ran out and you left me. And that trauma caused me to lose my mind and to lose years of my life, years that I should have been raising my children. That's gone now. I can never, ever get that back. And yet, I really can believe that your intentions were good and that somehow you were in a horrible situation and you got confused and you made some bad choices. And you were a grown man. Now imagine a little girl in the same situation, completely overwhelmed. The Scotty that I knew would have compassion for that girl.
What about the son that I just found out that I had after all these years? Laura, I lost you to a guy that had no respect for you or what you wanted. Now I'm just supposed to add Logan to the list and that's it? Finished?
So this is just about us then, isn't it? You are punishing my daughter because you're bitter. You're bitter that I chose Luke over you.